That vibrant crimson glaze coating your favorite fruit pastry contains exactly zero fruit. Instead, it is powered by an ultra-stable synthetic azo bond derived from petroleum refining, a molecular structure that your digestive enzymes cannot break down, forcing your gut microbiome to alter its own genetic expression just to process it. When you eat processed foods glowing with saturated yellows, deep blues, and brilliant reds, you are not just consuming an aesthetic choice engineered by a corporate flavor laboratory. You are introducing biologically active chemical ligands directly into your gastrointestinal tract. Synthetic colorants that interact with your intestinal epithelial barrier, influence cellular oxidation, and shift the fragile balance of your microbiome. Today, we are opening the molecular blueprint of hidden food color additives. You will see the precise chemical machinery behind synthetic azo dyes, how food manufacturers use complex regulatory loopholes to disguise them under everyday names, and the exact cellular cascade that occurs when these compounds collide with your gut lining. Most importantly, you will discover how your body processes whole food botanical pigments, transforming ordinary colorful plants into powerful metabolic upgrades. Think about the last time you walked down a supermarket aisle. Rows upon rows of bright cereals, neon sports beverages, golden macaroni, and ruby-tinted yogurts stare back at you. We are visually hardwired to associate deep, vibrant colors with nutrient density. In nature, a rich dark purple signals a massive concentration of protective anthocyanins. A brilliant sunny orange indicates a heavy payload of beta-carotene ready to support your vision and immune signaling. Food scientists understood this evolutionary wiring decades ago. To capitalize on your brain's ancient visual search for nourishment, manufacturers began replacing fragile, light-sensitive natural plant extracts with ultra-cheap, shelf-stable synthetic petroleum derivatives. To understand what happens inside your body, we have to look directly at the molecular architecture of these dyes. The most widely consumed synthetic food colors, such as Allura Red, Tartrazine, and Sunset Yellow, belong to a chemical class known as azo compounds. At the heart of every azo dye is a double nitrogen bond linking two complex aromatic hydrocarbon rings. This double nitrogen bridge is extraordinarily durable. It resists heat, withstands extreme acid changes in your stomach, and defies standard human digestive enzymes like pepsin and amylase. When you swallow a food containing synthetic yellow or red dye, that chemical bridge stays entirely intact as it travels through your stomach and sweeps down into your small intestine. Your digestive tract cannot absorb the large, intact dye molecule efficiently. So where does it go? It arrives virtually untouched in your colon. This is where the biological drama begins. Your colon is inhabited by trillions of microorganisms that possess specialized enzymes called bacterial azoreductases. When your resident bacteria encounter this synthetic nitrogen bridge, they deploy these azoreductases to cleave the molecule apart. But breaking that bond does not simply make the dye disappear. It splits the synthetic dye into free aromatic amines and reactive metabolic intermediates right against the delicate single-cell lining of your colon. In 2007, a landmark double-blind clinical trial led by researcher Jim McCann and published in the prestigious journal The Lancet examined the biological and behavioral impacts of common synthetic food color blends. McCann and his team demonstrated that synthetic food colorings, coupled with common preservatives, exerted measurable physiological and behavioral perturbations in children, establishing that these artificial colorants are not biologically inert window dressing. They actively interact with neurochemical and inflammatory pathways. I was actually rereading the raw biochemical degradation pathways of these azo bonds late last night, and it struck me how few people realize that our microbiome is doing heavy metabolic labor every single day just to cleave industrial food dyes. If you are finding this breakdown of cellular biology fascinating, take a quick moment right now to leave a comment with your thoughts and subscribe to the channel. It signals to the platform that real human metabolic science matters, and it directly supports our team as we continue pulling back the curtain on what modern food truly does to your cells. Now, Look at what happens immediately after those bacterial azoreductases snap that double nitrogen bond. The resulting metabolites can increase localized oxidative stress within the mucosal layer of your intestine. Picture your intestinal lining not as a solid leather wall, but as an intricately woven biological coffee filter made of living epithelial cells. These cells are stitched together by microscopic protein complexes called tight junctions, governed by proteins like occludin and claudin. Under normal circumstances, these tight junctions act as intelligent cellular gatekeepers. They open selectively to welcome amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals into your bloodstream, while clamping tightly shut to keep bacterial fragments and toxic waste products safely inside your digestive tract. When synthetic dye metabolites generate reactive oxygen species in the gut microenvironment, they trigger an inflammatory cascade that can compromise these tight junction proteins. Your cells noticed. Even if you felt completely fine on the outside, your gut mucosa had to deploy endogenous antioxidants like glutathione just to neutralize the localized free radicals generated during that dye cleaving process. Food dye is not an aesthetic garnish. It is an active synthetic ligand operating as biological spam mail inside your intestinal tract. Let that sit on your tongue for a second. But the synthetic landscape extends far beyond the obvious neon candies and artificially colored soda cans. The real issue facing modern consumers is the quiet invasion of synthetic colorants and opacity agents into foods you would never suspect. When was the last time you checked the ingredient panel on a jar of plain yellow pickles or mint chocolate chip ice cream? Pickles are naturally a muted, earthy olive green. To make them look crisp, fresh, and irresistibly vibrant on a fluorescent lit store shelf, manufacturers routinely add synthetic yellow number 5, also known as tartrazine, along with blue number 1. Salad dressings, vanilla puddings, white sandwich bread, coffee creamers, and even store-bought white frosting frequently utilize titanium dioxide or synthetic pigments to achieve a stark, chalky brightness or a faux buttery warmth. On the ingredient panel, these additives hide in plain sight. They might be listed as allura red, tartrazine, sunset yellow, fast green, brilliant blue, or coded under international numbering systems like E102, E110, or E129. Sometimes they are masked under broad umbrella terms like artificial color added or color added. To reveal what chronic exposure to these disguised colorants does to your internal architecture, let us look at an exceptional study published in the journal Nature Communications in 2022 by lead author Dr. Yoon-hee Kwon and colleagues. Kwon's research team discovered that chronic dietary exposure to the synthetic dye allura red AC directly disrupted gut barrier integrity in experimental models. The dye promoted low-grade chronic intestinal inflammation, elevated the secretion of inflammatory cytokines like interleukin-23, and dramatically altered the composition of the gut microbiota. It suppressed beneficial commensal bacteria while allowing opportunistic pro-inflammatory microbes to expand. Think about the cellular contrast. When you consume a real wild blackberry, your body receives cyanidin-3 glucoside, a magnificent botanical anthocyanin. As this natural pigment passes through your digestive tract, it does not tax your system with toxic aromatic amines. Instead, it directly donates electrons to quench free radicals, downregulates inflammatory gene expression, and serves as high-octane prebiotic fuel for beneficial species like bifidobacteria and Akkermansia mucinifera. Those bacteria ferment the natural pigment matrix into short-chain fatty acids, primarily butyrate, which actively seals your tight junctions and fuels your colon cells. Synthetic colorants do the exact opposite. They consume your body's antioxidant reserves, stress your microbial ecosystem, and offer zero biological value in exchange. You are literally trading your cellular peace of mind for an industrial optical illusion. So how do we translate this biological reality into immediate, empowering, and practical kitchen upgrades? You do not need to live in fear of food, nor do you need to eat a dull, colorless diet. The goal is to flood your cells with authentic botanical intelligence while methodically clearing out synthetic imposters. Here are 3 precise, highly targeted nutritional strategies you can deploy, starting with your very next meal. First, systematically replace synthetic red and yellow food additives with concentrated whole food anthocyanin and betalain botanical matrices. Aim for 1 dedicated daily serving of deep red or dark purple plant matter containing at least 100 milligrams of raw natural pigments. The 2 most biologically potent options are cold-pressed beetroot extract and freeze-dried wild blueberry powder. Stir half a teaspoon of organic freeze-dried wild blueberry powder into your plain morning yogurt, oatmeal, or smoothie. The rich purple pigment delivers concentrated malvidin and delphinidin, which cross into the gut mucosal layer, neutralizing localized reactive species and physically shielding epithelial tight junctions from daily environmental stresses. Second, master the polyphenol lipid carrier protocol to outcompete synthetic oxidative load. Natural pigments like curcumin, the brilliant golden orange compound found in whole turmeric root, and lutein from dark leafy greens are fat-soluble. To maximize their cellular uptake and gut lining protective effects, consume 1/2 teaspoon of ground organic turmeric paired with 1/8 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper suspended in 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. The piperine in the black pepper dramatically enhances the bioavailability of the curcuminoids, while the monounsaturated fatty acids in the olive oil act as microscopic lipid rafts, carrying these potent anti-inflammatory pigments directly to the cell membranes of your intestinal enterocytes. Use this golden elixir as a savory finishing dressing over steamed vegetables, lentils, or pasture-raised eggs 3 to 4 times per week. Third, deploy targeted prebiotic fiber pairing to upregulate endogenous butyrate production and rebuild your mucosal barrier. If you have been consuming processed foods containing synthetic dyes, your tight junctions need raw building blocks to restore optimal function. Introduce 5 grams, approximately 1 level tablespoon, of organic green banana flour or partially hydrolyzed guar gum into a glass of room temperature water once daily, ideally mid-morning between meals. Green banana flour is exceptionally rich in type 2 resistant starch. When your colon bacteria ferment this specific resistant starch, they rapidly produce high concentrations of short-chain fatty acids that directly activate the genetic transcription of new occludin and claudin proteins, reinforcing the intestinal barrier and undoing the microscopic permeability caused by industrial additives. Take a breath and recognize the profound shift that just happened in your mind. You will never look at a brightly colored food package the same way again. You no longer see food as merely calories, carbs, or a decorative treat to satisfy a momentary visual craving. You now see color as biological software. Every hue that enters your mouth is either delivering clear, regenerative instructions to your cellular machinery or forcing your microbiome to clean up synthetic chemical debris. You hold the decoder ring. You are now the conscious gatekeeper of your own biology. What is the single most colorful food item currently sitting in your refrigerator? Tell me right now in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button right now. Think of it as saving this video directly to your digital library so you can instantly reference these exact food swaps and biological mechanisms the next time you are standing in a grocery store aisle deciphering an ingredient label. Our journey into the hidden biochemical codes of the modern diet is only accelerating. We are already deep into the laboratory research for our upcoming breakdown, investigating another common dietary ingredient that is silently altering cellular metabolism across millions of households every single day. Subscribe to Nutrition Decoded right now, so you are standing at the front line the exact moment that discovery goes live. Step into your kitchen with knowledge, honor your biology, and nourish your cells with real food.